This is a training video on doing a push-pull cable. Again, refer to your tech manual when doing this. Our cable has already been disconnected. If we were going to replace the cable itself, you can examine the sheath, and if the sheath is in good shape, you can simply pull the cable out of the sheath and just put a new cable in the sheath you got, instead of undoing the sheath from the firewall, from the front, from the back, from the dash and all that. If the sheath is in great shape, just reuse it. Now, this video is going to be jumping around quite a bit, so bear with me. We need to get the cable in such a position. Let me get this nut off. The bolt has a small hole in it. I want to push the cable through that hole. As you can see, it's on this side. From here, I'm going to go ahead and start the nut back on it. One of the key things to make sure is you don't over tighten this nut so you bend the cable. If you bend that cable, it's going to make it tough for the next guy, or eventually you're going to break it. Once we have it back in the bolt hole, then what we need to do, we need to push the cable all the way in and back it out about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Once we've got that done, then we want to push our lever all the way against the stop. In this case, I got a little bit of play in here, so I'm going to want to make sure when I tighten it, the bolt is sort of cocked forward. We definitely do not want to turn that nut unless we're holding the back. If we do, we will bend and twist that cable, and it'll be pretty much useless. So, you got to remember, this is a lock nut, so it may feel bad. You get to a point where you think it's tight, just see if you can rotate that washer. If you can't, that should be good. Once we get it done, and I think I'm good, then I pull out the cable, and I see if I'm hitting the low idle stop. The low idle stop is usually given because you theoretically can pull the cable completely out of the sheath, so eventually we'll hit that stop. Then I want to push the cable back in, and I want to see if I hit the high idle stop. I've hit the stop, but I don't have my clearance there, so I need to back this out and go again. So, put my Allen wrench in the back, loosen the nut, push it forward against the stop, tighten it, pull it out, push it in. I'm against my stop, and as you can see, I got clearance there. If something should happen and I need more movement up here, I've got that much to make sure I can hit my stop down there. And that's pretty simple, easy project to do. Now, this can be done for the carb heat cable. They can be set up for the fuel mixture cable. You may get to a point where on like a prop governor cable, you do almost the same thing, but with this, you'd have to break the jam nut loose and just screw the eyelet out put the bolt in and move the lever to high and low and make sure you hit the stops. It's just a matter of trial and error till you get it right.